Have you ever felt like time is slipping away quietly without warning? You wake up, scroll for a few minutes, check a few things, watch a few videos, and suddenly, it's night again. Another day gone. Another dream delayed. We all say, I will start tomorrow. Tomorrow I will study harder. Tomorrow I'll wake up early. Tomorrow I will fix my habits. But somehow, tomorrow never comes. And before we know it, weeks pass, months disappear, and we are still in the same place with the same regrets, the same excuses, the same dreams waiting in the dark. Welcome to Accent Avenue. Today, I'm not just going to motivate you, I want to wake you up. Because there's something stealing from you every single day, and it's not failure, not laziness, not bad luck. It's a waste of time. Time is the most silent, most precious, and most dangerous thing we lose without noticing. And if you don't learn how to protect it, one day, you'll look back and realize that life didn't pass you by, you gave it away. But this story is not about regret. It's about change. It's about the moment you decide to stop wasting time and start living like your life actually matters. Because it does. So stay with me till the end, because by the time this video ends, you will see time differently. You will see your minutes, your hours, your choices not as ordinary moments, but as chances to build the life you dream of. Let's begin the journey. Don't waste your time. Part 1. The Wake-Up Call. There comes a moment in every life when reality hits you like a mirror, and you can no longer hide from what you see. For me, that moment came one ordinary morning. There was no special event, no big loss, no loud warning. Just a quiet realization that I was wasting something I could never get back time. I remember sitting at my desk, scrolling through my phone. One video led to another, one post to another, one distraction to another. Minutes turned into hours, and when I finally looked up, the sun had already moved across the sky. Half a day gone. And I couldn't even remember what I had done with it. It's strange how time works. When we have a lot of it, we don't value it. But when it's gone, we would do anything to get it back. That day, I felt an emptiness I couldn't explain. I wasn't tired. I wasn't sad. But deep inside, I felt something heavy, the weight of lost hours, the guilt of doing nothing, the fear of becoming someone who keeps waiting but never begins. I thought about all the things I had said I would do, the goals, the dreams, the promises to myself. I will start exercising next week. I will work on my English after dinner. I will read tomorrow. But tomorrow kept moving further away. And I realized my life was full of tomorrows that never came. That day, I asked myself a question that changed everything. If I keep living like this for one more year, where will I be? The answer was painful, nowhere new. Because time doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't care if you're ready or not. It moves quietly, every second, every heartbeat, slipping through your fingers like sand. And while you're busy scrolling, waiting, or doubting, your dreams are waiting too, waiting for you to show up. I looked around my room. My books were untouched. My goals were written but not acted on. My motivation was full of noise but empty of action. And that's when it hit me: success doesn't disappear overnight. It fades slowly, one wasted hour at a time. I realized that life doesn't punish you instantly for wasting time. That's what makes it so dangerous. You don't fail after skipping one day. You don't feel pain after wasting 1 hour. But the damage grows quietly, like rust on metal, eating away at your potential until one day, you look back and see what you could have become and it's gone. That was my wake-up call. I knew I couldn't keep living like that, waiting for motivation, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for someone to push me. No one was coming. No miracle was going to happen. The only person who could save my time was me. And that realization was both terrifying and freeing. Terrifying because it meant I had wasted so much already. Freeing because it meant I still had the power to change. From that moment, I made a small promise to myself: I would stop treating time like it was infinite. I would start treating it like treasure. Because time is the currency of life. Every second you spend is a piece of your existence that will never return. And how you spend it decides who you become. That morning changed me. It wasn't loud or dramatic. It was just quiet, a quiet decision that whispered, no more wasting time. And from that whisper, a new chapter began. Part 2, the distractions that steal our life. Distraction, it's the quiet thief that robs you without making a sound. It doesn't break into your house. It walks through your unlocked mind. When I started observing my days closely, I realized something shocking. It wasn't that I didn't have time, it was that I was giving it away. Piece by piece. Minute by minute. To meaningless scrolling. To gossip. To mindless entertainment that left me empty inside. Every ping, every notification, every little red on my screen was like a magnet, pulling my focus away from the life I wanted to live. And the scariest part? I thought it was normal. I would open my phone for just 5 minutes. Then an hour would disappear. I would tell myself I was resting. But rest means recovery, not escaping your reality. I wasn't resting. I was running away. The world today is designed to keep us busy, not productive. To keep us connected, but not fulfilled. To keep us scrolling, not growing. And the more I gave my attention away, the weaker my focus became. I couldn't read a full page without checking my phone. I couldn't sit in silence without feeling restless. My mind was constantly searching for stimulation like an addict craving another hit of distraction. That's when I realized distraction isn't just a habit. It's a form of control. If you can't control your attention, someone else will. Every company, every platform, every ad, they all fight for one thing, your time. Because time equals attention, and attention equals power. I remember one evening, I caught myself watching random videos about things I didn't even care about. And when I finally stopped, I asked myself, why am I doing this? There was no answer. It had just become a reflex, something my hands did before my mind could even think. That moment scared me. Because I realized I wasn't choosing my distractions, they were choosing me. So I decided to fight back. I deleted the apps that wasted my hours. I stopped carrying my phone everywhere. I started setting small goals for each day, not big ones, just small steps that mattered. And you know what happened? At first, it felt strange. Empty. Quiet. But soon, that quiet became peace. That stillness became clarity. Without the noise, I started hearing my own thoughts again. Without the constant distractions, I started reconnecting with my dreams. I started noticing how powerful time really is when it's not being stolen. Because distraction doesn't just take your time, it takes your life in small, invisible pieces. It keeps you busy but not better. Active but not alive. And I decided I will not let my dreams die in the hands of distraction. Not anymore. Part 3. The regret of wasted time. Regret is a heavy feeling. It doesn't scream, it whispers. It sits quietly in the corners of your heart, reminding you of everything you could have done, but didn't. I still remember one night, I was sitting alone in my room. The world outside was asleep. The clock ticked softly, echoing in the silence. And for the first time, I looked back at my life not to remember, but to measure. How many hours had I wasted doing nothing meaningful? How many days have I spent saying, I'll start tomorrow? How many dreams had I buried under the comfort of excuses? That night, it hit me that time doesn't stop for anyone. It doesn't wait until you're ready. It keeps moving, quietly, constantly, like a river that never looks back. And as it moves, it takes your chances with it. I thought about all the skills I could have learned, the books I could have read, the confidence I could have built. But I didn't because I was too busy doing what was easy. I had spent so much time being entertained that I forgot to be educated. So much time being comfortable that I forgot to grow. And when that realization sank in, it broke something inside me. Because you can't rewind time. You can't press reset. Once it's gone forever. I looked at the clock again. It was 2 a.m. And for a moment, I felt angry at myself. Not because I was lazy, but because I knew I could have been more. I had potential, but I treated it like it didn't matter. I had opportunities, but I let them slip away. And now, all I had were memories of what if. The thing about regret is that it doesn't appear suddenly. It grows quietly inside the moments you waste. Every minute you spend scrolling, Every promise you delay, every goal you ignore, it builds up. Until one day, you wake up and realize your dreams are still in the same place you left them. And that's when the pain begins, not because time moved too fast, but because you moved too slow. That night, I made myself a promise. I couldn't change my past, but I could stop wasting my future. Because regret can destroy you or it can rebuild you. It depends on what you do next. And that next morning, when the sun rose, something changed in me. I didn't want to just exist anymore. I wanted to live with intention. To make every second count. To turn my regret into purpose. Because regret may be painful, but it's also powerful. It shows you exactly where you went wrong, so you never have to go back there again. Part 4. The power of one decision. Every change in life begins with a single decision. Not a big one. Not dramatic. Just a quiet moment when something inside you says, enough. That morning, after that long night of regret, I stood in front of the mirror. I looked at myself, not at my face, not at my clothes, but at my reflection as a person. And for the first time, I didn't see potential. I saw waste. I had wasted days, weeks, maybe years waiting for the right moment, the right feeling, the right opportunity. But the truth hit me hard. The right time never comes. You create it. So I made a decision. A small one. But powerful. I decided that from today, I would not waste my time anymore. I wouldn't wait for motivation. I wouldn't wait for someone to push me. I wouldn't wait for everything to feel perfect. I would start now. And that one decision changed everything. Not instantly. Not magically. But gradually. I woke up earlier. I read instead of scrolling. I spent more time improving myself than explaining myself. I started treating my minutes as if they mattered, because they did. Every morning, I asked myself one question: how can I make today count? And that question became my compass. I stopped measuring my days by comfort. I started measuring them by growth. It wasn't easy. Some days, I failed. Some days, I felt tired, unmotivated, and lost. But I didn't give up. Because that decision had planted something inside me. A new identity. I was no longer the person who wasted time. I was becoming the person who used it wisely. And the more I stayed consistent, the more I started seeing results. Not just in my work, but in my mindset. I began to respect myself again. Because every time you choose discipline over distraction, you earn back your own respect. That's the hidden power of one decision. You don't have to rebuild your life overnight. You just have to start with one moment of clarity, one choice that says, I'm done being careless with my time. Because time doesn't change when the clock strikes 12. Time changes when you do. And that morning I did. Not because I suddenly became wise or confident, but because I was tired of being a prisoner of my own excuses. One decision. That's all it took to shift my direction from regret to purpose, from confusion to clarity, from wasting time to valuing it. Part 5. Building momentum. Momentum doesn't begin with speed, it begins with consistency. When I decided to stop wasting time, I didn't suddenly become unstoppable. I stumbled, I hesitated, I doubted myself, but I kept showing up. At first, it was uncomfortable. The alarm would ring early, and my body begged for 5 more minutes. My mind whispered, you can start tomorrow. But tomorrow had already stolen too many of my dreams. So I got up. I started small. 10 minutes of reading instead of mindless scrolling. 15 minutes of learning something new. An hour of focused work without distractions. It didn't seem like much, but it was more than what I had done yesterday. And that was progress. Day by day, something began to change. The same tasks that once felt heavy started to feel natural. The same habits that once drained me began to fuel me. And slowly, my focus became sharper, my energy stronger, my mind clearer. That's the thing about momentum. It doesn't shout, it builds quietly. You don't notice it in a single day, but after weeks, you look back and realize how far you've come. What was once discipline now feels like rhythm. What was once effort now feels like identity. I started replacing my distractions with direction. Instead of wasting hours comparing myself to others, I started competing with the person I was yesterday. Instead of saying, "I wish I could," I started saying, "I'm working on it." And every small victory mattered. Finishing a book. Completing a goal. Speaking confidently in situations I used to avoid. Each one became proof that my time was no longer being wasted, it was being invested. Momentum taught me that success isn't about doing everything perfectly. It's about doing something consistently. Because consistency turns ordinary actions into extraordinary outcomes. There were still bad days, of course. Days when motivation disappeared, when I slipped back into old patterns. But I learned something powerful. Momentum doesn't die when you rest. It dies when you quit. So instead of quitting, I paused, I reset, and I kept going. Because every time you start again, you add another layer of strength to your character. And soon, what began as effort turned into confidence. Confidence that I could shape my days. Confidence that I could control my focus. Confidence that I could build something meaningful 1 hour, one habit, one choice at a time. That's when I realized time isn't just something to be managed. It's something to be mastered. The more I respected time, the more it respected me back. Opportunities started to appear. People noticed my consistency. And most importantly, I began to trust myself again. Momentum had transformed me from someone who waited for change into someone who created it. Part 6. The Reward of Time Well Spent. There comes a day when you look back and realize how far you've come. You remember the person who wasted hours on meaningless things. The one who said later to every dream, tomorrow to every goal, and maybe to every opportunity. And now, you see someone different staring back at you in the mirror, someone who chose to take time seriously. When I started respecting my time, life started respecting me back. I began to notice things that used to slip away unnoticed. Mornings felt alive again. Silence felt peaceful, not empty. Even ordinary moments like a quiet walk, a cup of tea, or finishing a small task felt meaningful. Because when you stop wasting time, you stop wasting life. I no longer chased distractions to escape my thoughts. I started using my thoughts to shape my actions. Instead of endless scrolling, I started learning. Instead of complaining, I started creating. And slowly, my life began to fill with results, not noise. The reward of time well spent is not just success, it's clarity. It's that calm confidence that comes from knowing you are doing what truly matters. It's waking up and feeling proud of how you are living, not just dreaming. It's realizing that every focused hour you gave to your growth was an investment that no one could ever take away. I saw my confidence grow, my relationships improve, and my dreams become more reachable. I stopped comparing my journey to others because I finally understood time is not a race, it's a gift. And how you spend it defines who you become. When you give your best to your time, time gives its best to you. It rewards you with progress, with peace, and with purpose. You start attracting the right people, the right energy, the right opportunities because now, your life has direction. Every small habit I built, every moment I refused to waste, became a brick in the foundation of the life I wanted. I was no longer running after shortcuts or miracles. I was building something real one day at a time. And maybe that's the greatest reward of all, not fame, not money, not recognition, but the quiet pride of knowing that you didn't let your days slip through your fingers. You used them. You owned them. You lived them. That feeling of a deep sense of fulfillment is worth more than anything else. Because the true measure of success isn't how much time you have, it's how much of yourself you give to the time you have left. Part 7. The final message. Don't wait, start now. There's something I've learned about time. It never stops. It doesn't slow down for your confusion, and it doesn't pause for your fear. While you wait for the perfect moment, time keeps moving. While you doubt yourself, someone else is working. While you say maybe later, another dream quietly dies inside you. You don't get more time, you just get to choose what to do with the time you have left. And most people wait. They wait for motivation, for opportunity, for confidence, for permission. But the truth is life doesn't wait. You either move, or you stay stuck. I used to believe I needed more time to start. I told myself, I'll begin when I'm ready. But that day never came because readiness is an illusion. It's a story we tell ourselves to feel safe, while life slips away behind the curtain of someday. If there's something you want to do, learn, speak, create, change, grow, start now. Even if it's small, even if it's messy, even if it's scary. Because the pain of starting is nothing compared to the regret of never trying. The clock will not stop for you. Every second that passes is a second gone forever. But the good news is you can choose differently right now. You can reclaim your time, your focus, your life. Don't wait for January. Don't wait for Monday. Don't wait for motivation. Just begin. Begin with what you have, where you are, right now. And once you start, something magical happens. Momentum builds confidence. Confidence builds belief. And belief builds everything you ever dreamed of. You'll fail, yes. You'll get tired, yes. But those moments will shape you. Because every drop of sweat, every late night, every little effort is proof that you are fighting for something greater than comfort. You're fighting for your future. One day, you will look back and thank yourself for starting today. For not wasting another moment wishing, scrolling, or waiting. You'll thank yourself for respecting the most valuable thing you were ever given, time. So if you're listening to this right now, let this be your sign. Don't waste another day. Don't let another sunset pass without moving one step closer to your purpose. The time is now. The person is you. And as you move forward, remember this life doesn't reward the ones who wait. It rewards the ones who begin. So take a breath. Stand up. And start now.